We have had a lot of crazy maps over the years on the StarCraft 2 ladder, but this one called Golden Wool, it's way up there. It got added just a couple of days ago with the new StarCraft 2 ladder season. I will show you around in just a little bit, but let's get started like we always do by introducing the players. Spawning here in the right bottom side of Golden Wool LE, playing with the blue Zerg drones. From Italy, quarantined and well, we're looking inside of the main base of Reynor. His opponent in the left bottom side with the red Terran SCVs. Likewise, actually, well, he's from the Netherlands, right? We're not quite as strict over here as in Italy, but still pretty much quarantined for all intents and purposes. We have none other than uThermal. Obviously, that's assuming that either of these two players are actually home. I don't know if that's the case. Anyways, so the map is called Golden Wool. There's this Golden Wool, haha, you may have guessed that already, moving through the center of the map. This map is basically vertically mirrored, so the right-hand side of the map is basically the same as the left-hand side, other than like a couple of doodads and stuff. You can see this tree right here on the left, a little bit bigger than the tree on the right, but for all intents and purposes, it's vertically mirrored. However, this entire bottom section of the map, so I would say about a third or so of the map, is only accessible after players mine out minerals. Now, these minerals are not quite normal mineral patches that we've seen in the past on other maps. These are minerals that have 20 minerals in them in total, so not the 5 that we've seen a lot in the past, meaning that it takes 4 trips for a worker to mine their way through it. I believe the center one is a little bit easier accessible, although I'm not entirely sure. We can probably figure that out in just a little bit. There's also these golden bases over here. Workers do not fit through this choke until like something is mined out here a little while later into the game. Workers also, like for example, probes cannot be like glitched through this area. So basically, the entire bottom section of the map is only accessible one of the players really carefully decides to get into that location, or obviously if Terran decides to like fly a structure over there, or if like, I don't know, Protoss decides to drop a probe there, or if Zerg loads one into, well, a drone that is, into an overload, right? But basically, the entire bottom section of the map is not actually played on, and I would say like half the instances that I've played on this map so far. That's crazy. That means that the entire top section of the map is the section we normally see most often. But there's this entire part of the map that we may see games on. It's pretty cool. The concept is pretty amazing. I feel though like this is gonna be one of those maps that I'm gonna love watching games on. I'm gonna love casting games on it as well. I probably won't enjoy playing on it very often, because in a way, it feels like the entire bottom section is sort of like an island, okay? And generally speaking, especially for Zerg players, which is the race that I play the most, I don't really enjoy playing very much against, you know, bases and stuff that are hidden and really difficult to access. We'll see though what ends up going down here between these two top tier pro gamers, because I'm curious to see their approach. There's another 2 maps actually that also got added with this season. So there is Everdream, which is like the most straightforward standard macro map ever. Not really something necessarily to highlight on that one, but it's really good. Wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be a map that will be around for like 4 seasons, okay? There's a couple of tight choke points on that one, which is a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller as well than some of the maps that we've seen over like the last year or so. It's closer to like, for example, like a Cyber Forest, which was around for quite a while, but it's a good map overall. And then there's another one as well called Purity and Industry, which is also a crazy map. I'll try and see if I can cast a game on that one over the next couple of days too. So if you're interested, make sure you subscribe so you get notified as soon as that video goes live. The weird part is, though, most of the time, right? At least historically speaking in StarCraft, we've always had that, like, one map that was crazy. In the previous map pool, that was Zen. But Zen is still around as well. So in this map pool, we now have, out of the 7 maps, 3 crazy ones. That means we have Zen, we have this one, and then we have Purity and Industry that I'll show you in the near future. It's pretty insane. Anyways, it is going to be a battlecruiser opener, it looks like right here, from uThermal. Everything is normal, by the way, on both sides of the map. I haven't really discussed the game yet at all, but nice little catch right there on that Hellion. I really am curious, though, what, like, tournaments are gonna look like, right? Because on the ladder, you have 3 map vetoes, so technically... Oh, look at this. He's starting to work on these minerals right over here. But technically speaking, on the ladder, you could definitely... He's doing the same thing on the other side. I love this. On the ladder, you can technically veto the crazy ones, so you could veto the crazy maps and just play the normal ones, the quote-unquote normal ones. But in tournaments, obviously, if you play a best of 5, you're not going to be able to veto more than 2 maps. So you're going to have to play one of the weird ones. And likewise, in a best of 7, which is what most tournament grand finals are, you're going to have to deal with one of those ridiculous ones. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think the pro gamers are really looking forward to it, but I am. It's gonna be fun. Anyways, so here we go. uThermal already utilizing this bottom section of the map right now. He decided to go for a very quick third command center while simultaneously open up with a battlecruiser, and he's adding on additional factories right now. So this looks like it's going to be a full-on mech-based approach right here from the Dutch Terran. He's going to be able to access this side of the map pretty easily. However, this is something that Zerg can attack into, but just simply running in that direction. Now, speaking of those Zerglings, though... Ooh. He was running in that direction, but he's now needing those links a little bit further up north. Excellent Evo chamber block, by the way. Really nicely done right there by Reynor. Scanning the main base also now confirms that there is a spore crawler, and there is indeed that lair coming up. Battlecruiser will likely be popping here in a second. There it is. It's coming out in just a little bit. Where is he going to send it? Needs to be so cautious, though. Reynor, that is, right? If he does not pay attention for even a little bit, he will indeed be attacked very rapidly. Now, it looks like the battlecruiser has made its way over to the third base of the Zerg. And in the meantime, those Zerglings have accessed the bottom section of the map and are going to start fighting the Terran player from the inside out. In the meantime, the battlecruiser actually got shut down just fine. Hellions decided to return as well towards this location. How did they actually get over here? Did they just drive down the ramp? I think they must have. I wasn't quite paying attention to the minimap at that moment, but I think they must have just drove down there. Look at the creep spread, by the way. Really want to compliment Reynor on that one. Reynor, obviously, by the way, like these days, really considered a top-tier Zerg. He was the runner-up at BlizzCon just a few months ago. So he almost became the world champion of StarCraft 2 in like his first competitive year in the game. That's insane, guys. Like, that's insane. This guy is 17 years old. He almost became the world champion of StarCraft already. Right? Like, that's just crazy. That's just really ridiculous. So, he certainly does not seem to show any signs of slowing down either. The creep spread getting out of control. The longer that this goes on, I feel like the creep spread is going to get more and more ridiculous. But you can see, though, that I would say Reynor is probably not as experienced playing on this map, at least as far as, like, the approach goes so far, because he's lacking a lot of creep spread here in the bottom section. I really feel like it's worth going for like 1 or 2 tumors in this direction, right? Because he has no idea if any units are advancing there. And it kind of feels like uThermal. He could like continue expanding in this location just fine. Now, another cool feature actually of this map. Looks like these Hellions. Yep, they're gonna headbutt with a few roaches. Although, you know what? Roach is actually not that beefy. Oh, I love it. They get additional armor when you morph it in. This should be dealt with, though, right? There's more than enough Zerglings, although, don't want to line them up too much. Ooh. Okay, well, that's a lot of dead units there in general. Looks like these Hellions are getting their money worth. They're getting their money's worth for sure. What was I saying? I was going to say something. It was really good, man. I was going to say something really cool, and then I forgot about it. Will I remember? Nope, I don't think so. Oh, man. Yeah, so basically what I was trying to say, though, he was... Like, he's spreading creep excellently through the center of the map, right? The top side of the map, it's going to be creeped up here in just a little bit. That Zerg goop is going to go everywhere. But the entire bottom section of the map is going to be a bit of a mess. And something that uThermal can actually very easily, you know, use to continue expanding. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, it was smart. Hold up. Let's see how this fight goes first, though. Then I'll tell you about it. Here's those siege tanks in a really powerful position, actually. Dude, I gotta say, I love the way that uThermal is approaching this so far. There's really no room for counterattack aggression here either. I mean, maybe a couple of Zerglings could try and move up that ramp, but units are still rallied in that position. And how exactly are you gonna break this right now if you're the Zerg? That battlecruiser is dealing a lot of damage. He's going up towards the hive here, right? Does he have, like, a greater... Like, he does have a spire, okay. So maybe he wants to go greater spire. He needs a couple of corruptors. Corruptors are coming up right now. Corrosive Balls also utilized to zone this away. 9 drones end up falling here. It's really critical right now for the young Italian to hold on. This damage here from uThermal is really piling up. But apparently the position right here of the tanks does not allow them to be in range of any critical Zerg structures. So he can't just pick up the hive from this position, which is actually really important to note. If those siege tanks would have been in range, this could have been a disaster. And you know what? In a way, this is something that Reynor created for himself, as he mined away only like 2 of those mineral patches rather than all of them. So that means that these siege tanks, they're in a super powerful choke. Oh my god, uThermal opening up the door. Corrosive Balls, though, can land from the high ground towards the low ground. It looks like eventually Reynor is going to be able to break through. He also now ran the Zerglings once again in a very... Wait, what? Hold up, I want to go back for just a second. Where did those Zerglings come from? Oh, okay. So I missed it here for a little bit. I thought for a second there may have been a gap in the wall somewhere that I didn't notice yet either, just like those Hellions all of a sudden seem to appear. But I think they just went through the main base. So while this harassment is going on, Reynor actually decided to send in a couple of drones to mine away these minerals over here. And these mineral fields are at only 5. So these mineral fields can be mined away in a single trip. So that does mean he now manages to run those Zerglings around. He gets the rep around here. And it should shut down this aggression pretty smoothly. Especially now with Corruptors joining in. The boys need to get home. Alright. So, here's what I was going to try and say like 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago, okay? These golden minerals can be mined from 2 sides. I don't think we've already seen that before in StarCraft, right? Like, these golden minerals, they're full bases. You could put a hatchery over here. And then you could put a hatchery over there, too. Well, I mean, I don't think you want to do that. But, like, you can. Pretty cool, right? Look at this. uThermal mining the golden minerals over here. That means he doesn't have the gas, but he doesn't really need it. If he gets the golden base up and running, he can get so much money so quickly. Basically replaces SCVs with just full mule production here at some point. Planetary Fortress finishes up on the south as well, and a lot of Zerglings and Banelings are ready to go in for what seems to be a run-by. Hellions heading in that direction too. Planetary Fortress is spotted. Ooh! Nice catch right there, though, by uThermal. There's enough Banelings to go through this wall. And already... Well, hello. There you go. Already... This is a crazy game. Not something we've quite seen before, right? This is really, really silly. So, in a way, uThermal is taking the entire bottom left-hand corner. Now, imagine if these golden minerals, though, mine out, right? All of a sudden, that means that Reynor has a new access point into these Terran bases. So there's another level of strategy to it right there, where in a way, yeah, you can get the golden minerals, but you're essentially creating a new opening into your own Terran settlement, which is, yeah, not ideal. That's not really what you want. You want to try and reduce the amount of surface area that Zerg has, not increase it. So the golden minerals, yeah, you get a lot of, you know, you get a lot of economy boosts, I guess, but you may have to like either replace it with like your own wall or you know, come up with a way of preventing the Zerg from moving around like that, or just, you know, allow it to happen. But it's a risky position to be in. Very, very cool. So there's like a battle happening on both sides of the map. And I guess Reynor is just simply mining out the entire like middle section right now to allow him to get into this position a little bit easier. But this is so cool already. It's like a whole new strategy that you have to play on this map. And that's precisely the reason why a lot of pro gamers don't really like playing on these kinds of maps. Like, StarCraft is hard enough as it is. Usually, if you have to also now get creative, that's not really something a lot of them want to deal with. But now you have to. You just can't veto the one map anymore that you don't like. You're gonna have to. Oh, here we go. Zergling swooping in from the, well, I guess the top section of the map. Coming through those mined out minerals. And all of a sudden, uThermal gets absolutely obliterated here. Still, though, he's got a huge amount of army supply. Battlecruisers are still alive. And actually, look at this. Reynor is just taking the entire top section. He's got a lot of money, by the way. Both players have a lot of money, so they can replace these units very easily. Most of the time, players take like a big fight like that, and they lose a lot of their units. It's a problem. But since both of them have like 80 plus workers, they can very easily replenish the army supply that's lost as well. Great dodge right there, by the way, on that little Hellion. Nicely done. I really wonder if it's time to mine out these minerals, man. I think it is. You know what? I like that spot for Reynor quite a bit better last time around. Once again, though, looks like he's ready to surround his own base. These Hellbats can just be put on the ramp, though. These Hellbats should be able to deal so much damage. Yeah, where are you going to go with these Lings? Going for a counterattack? There's a Planetary Fortress over there. This golden base, though, that's super easily accessible. Not something that Reynor has really considered yet. I think Zergling run-by should happen over there, but look at this! Oh my god! The Hodors of the party, man! Look at them! They're holding the doors! Oh no! Don't do it, dude! Oh my god! That's disgusting. I love it. Look at this. These couple of units are getting so much work done. Can he get the Hive as well? If he gets the Hive, that would be a disaster, actually, for Zerg. Only 10 drones in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, so I think if Reynor plays another game on this map, he's going to make a couple of adjustments. Obviously, this map is very new still, so players are trying to figure it out. I think once he knows that this is a base that was very easy to harass, he will do that a lot more often. He will probably mine out these mineral patches either later or, like, mine out all of them. And I can imagine you don't want to get your tech in the main. I think you probably want to get, like, maybe even your lair at your third base. Defending the third base seems a hell of a lot easier than defending your main, you know? Like, it makes sense to, like, just turn this one into a lair. Which really hasn't been something that we've seen before in StarCraft, but I think it makes perfect sense over here. One of the reasons why players like to get lairs in the natural is because usually it's easier to defend. I love it. Once again, Hellions in the top section. Clear the way for these units right here in the bottom section. Now, he wants to get the hive. Looks like he might be able to, but he's going to lose a lot of units as well. Technically, you can line up some corrosive bowels over here. Yeah, not even that many units, to be honest. And uThermal really is just expanding his control of this map, adding on so many planetaries. Look at this right now, guys. Like, I'm looking at the mini-map, and my StarCraft mind is getting boggled right now. Look at this. In a way... Right, like, uThermal could, like, start mining from this base for all I care. In a way, like, despite Reynor starting off in the bottom right, he's the one taking the entire top section of the map. And uThermal, despite starting in the bottom left, is taking the entire bottom section of the map. It almost looks like we did spawn in opposite locations. Look at the minimap. If you just glanced in right now, you just tuned in 15 minutes into the game, you probably assumed that Reynor spawned in the top right. It's so sick. The amount of worker harass, by the way, is absolutely ridiculous. Whoa, those Hellbats, dude. Getting so much value. Oh my god. Those are some of the most cost-efficient Hellbats that I've ever seen in StarCraft. Resources lost. You can see Zerg has lost quite a bit more money. 5,000 more minerals. A couple of Ravagers actually derping around right over here as well. Whereas obviously Terran lost a little bit more gas. Gas in general, the more favored resource. But yeah, look at that. Reynor right now getting himself the hive once again. This time around in the net. I like the idea a lot. Now, as these mineral fields, though, get mined out, right? This map opens up a lot more. And the style that Reynor is playing is significantly better for maps that are wide open. Oh my god, wait. There's a little run-by right over there, too, on the right-hand side of these rocks. I don't know if that's intended. The Zerglings actually ran up the rocks right there on the right-hand side. I don't know. That seems weird. Anyways, I like this style a lot that Reynor is playing as time goes by, right? Assuming he's still going to be in this game a couple minutes from now. I think this gets better for him as time goes by and as these rocks get cleared out and as long as these mineral fields start mining out, right? Like, there's a lot of value there that this Zerg player gets in just being more mobile. Then again, though, he's really sticking around on a super low-tier unit composition. This is mostly just, like, Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager based, right? With a couple Corruptors for support as well. Whereas Terran is teching up towards Liberators right now. He's getting a couple of Thors into the mix as well. This is on paper a much stronger Terran army. But I guess one thing you can do here if you're Reynor is never engage the army, but just go for non-stop run-bys, right? He can, like, get into the main base. If he gets on top of the production, it's so difficult for a Terran player to get rid of that. Got a feeling, though, that those Liberators are not going to be able to achieve too much. Yeah, Corrosive Balls there, land right there. The last possible second. He's adding on a lot of Liberators, though. That's 4 Liberators right now at a time. 3 additional command centers as well. This is usually what happens when Terrans max out. They will get additional upgrades and they will start replenishing any of those mules whenever they get picked off with, or rather SCVs with mules instead. Another CC, wow. He's going ham on the command centers. Alright, so this is what I mean, look. Terran's stuck in the bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, he's dealing a little bit of damage, but what exactly are you going to do if you have to cycle all the way towards this direction? I guess that uThermal can probably force this army to go back, but I'm really curious to see how this map develops over the next few months as players get this map more and more figured out. Because this is already a ridiculous game. This got to be one of the craziest games of ZVT that I've seen over like the last year. And we're not there yet. Neither player is really ahead. Like, I'm showing a lot of losses here of Reynor. Like, Reynor has lost a lot. But he's mining so much as well, right? Like, look at the map. He's taken the entire top section. So, because he's been mining a ridiculous amount, he can also replenish his army super easily. Whereas for uThermal, I mean, he's taking bases that will be running here pretty quickly, low on minerals. This feels so swarmy. Also from the Terran player, by the way. Liberators being utilized everywhere, but the Sport Crawler set up. This one over here will be picked off. This one also shouldn't get too much done, to be honest. Yeah, Corruptors are heading in that direction. And look at this. uThermal now finds the base in the top left. That one is going to be picked off pretty rapidly, too. And as soon as he moves in the top left, the main base is in a little bit of trouble. Is this still the main base? You know what? I think my idea of taking the third base as your tech base is not a bad idea. Oh my god, these splits are actually really sick, too. It's what you get when you have a bio player playing mech. This guy's been playing bio for years. A lot of dead Zerglings once again, but it looks like the hatchery lives. I really think you want to take your lair over here. Like, this seems like a much better spot for the lair. Golden base right now has been acquired as well, by the way, for Reynor. So that's something. I mean... Oh, yeah. Look at this. The main base is gone. uThermal is now taking the entire bottom section. Huh. That does mean that usually this will come down to, like, the player that just mines more. Because... Even if you're... Oh my god, this is a scary force though, moving forward. It's only 4 Thors. Never mind. Normally Thors are the ones leading the charge. In this case, apparently not. Wow. Yeah. Planetary Fortress is being acquired over here. Okay, he needs to, like, kill this. Because otherwise Zerg is never gonna get the kill on that. Base in the top left also falls though, so an eye for an eye. I'm loving this. This is so cool. As time goes by, though, more and more attack paths open up. This one, I mean, this golden base has to be harassed more. I think that Reynor would have sent Zerglings there ages ago if he even, like, considered that that base would be mining from the other side. I think he's just making the assumption that that base is not taken. I think he's just assuming that the entire bottom section of the map is taken, his entire bottom ridge, but... Oh my god, that one cheeky Widow mine is such a pivotal location too. I really like it. Dude, there's a base right over there. Reynor! Hey. Hey, come on. It's right there, dude. You could have harassed it since like minute number 10, it feels like. Once again, the main base in a little bit of trouble. uThermal is starting to bleed out quite a few units there. I love the Thors, by the way, in that position too. Looks like the Banelings actually finally managed to roll into a mineral line, which is nice for them. 26 workers end up going down. Main base also picked off, but I love the position right there of the Thors. And you know what? I wonder if these Zerg units are gonna go home. Yeah, he killed the planetary. Yeah, he rolled the Banes in and all that, and that's fun. But he doesn't have a lot of money. Look at the worker count right now. It's 60. Both players actually forced to, like, add on some new workers, I think. uThermal, likewise, only has a few left over as well. Although, well, never mind. Plenty of orbital commands. I wouldn't mind it at all if uThermal decides to take a more passive approach right now. Just take a more passive approach and try to, like, max out. Oh, sick biles. Because he's going to have a lot more army supply, right? Like, that's my thought process here. Since he can start replenishing some of those lost SCVs with army supply instead, the maxed out army is going to look a lot scarier. Once again, Zergling's trying to come in from the side. Not going to happen. He has to run this one back. Planetary Fortress did not finish yet, so apparently uThermal decides to use that, that building armor upgrade that allows you to also load up more SCVs. He decides to load a couple of those bad boys into the command center. And these Zerglings are going to have a hard time getting home. Maybe they can if, like, the other army creates a bit of a distraction. Here we go. Reynor finally figures out about this base. It's essentially mined out, though, at this point. Yeah, he finally thinks, oh my god, I should have been moving here such a long time ago. You know another thing? You can easily harass this. Like, imagine, like, one Hellion right over here. Imagine, like, one Roach right over here. Right? Like, they could be harassing each other in that golden base so easily. Yo, hey, uThermal, can you do me a favor? Can you grab this main base of Zerg? I know it's not worth it because there's, like, no minerals to mine from and stuff, but just for the giggles. Just so it looks like this game started off as if it was a cross spawn location. That'd be fun. Alright, so. Reynor going in for counterattack. Those Reynorlings, they really are becoming something special. Reynor seems to always get more value than other players out of their Zerglings. And that includes, like, players like, for example, Sero and Dark. He really has some insane Zergling control and, like, game sense, I suppose. Burrow coming up right now, although I feel like it's not going to finish. Maybe he needs to start up another lair. Do you start up another lair? Do you go for your third hive? Oh my god, those Banelings, or rather those Zerglings dealing... Oh my... Is he going to get the hive? So low. Oh my god, no. Okay. So, uThermal actually loses there. That engagement. I mean, he got very little kills, but... well, he got some Zerglings, I guess, but Zerglings are okay. Resources lost are absolutely insane. And you know what? We're, like, approaching the 25-minute mark. I don't think any of them is ahead. I really don't know who's ahead right now. I'm liking the army of Terran better, but I'm liking the macro of Zerg quite a bit more. Terran is gonna run low here on a lot of these bases. Look at these SCVs. Yeah, look at this golden base over here as well. He's now gonna be forced to take these two expansions instead, which is fine. It's okay, but... I don't know if I like it too much. Once again, morphs in a couple of Banelings, probably trying to Baneling bust the main base right now of the Terran player. Standard 24.5-minute Baneling bust. Corrosive Bowels once again. Shoot Lent. Ooh, those Thors take a lot of damage, but they're still up and running. In the meantime, the Corruptors apparently have found a nice little space as well to throw their caustic sprays. One burning command center trying to get into this location. And I think that maybe this CC might end up dying. At the same time, though, that Baneling bust arrived. I wasn't even kidding. He was actually committing to that. And now all of a sudden, the Zerglings are in the main base. The Terran army has been progressing towards the bottom right-hand corner. Command center looks like it will end up burning down here as well. Yeah, there he goes. Since Terran has been progressing more and more out into the map, he can't actually defend his main base very easily. Now he's forced to go all the way back. Widow Mines, though, are now apparently the weapon of choice here of uThermal. Do I like you, Widow? I guess Widow Mines are okay because, like, what's the best counter that Zerg has to Widow Mines? Most of the time, it's Banelings. Okay, well, speaking of devil, there they are. 23 Banelings coming up. But obviously, if you micro against it well, usually Zerg is gonna be alright! Oh my god! Well, I feel like those Banelings were, or those Zerglings were supposed to die to Widow Mines, but they ran too fast. At the same time, the Banelings, oh my god, from the main base of the Zerg, obliterate a ton of those SCVs. 27 in total. Command center also will fall. Still a couple of Widow Mines, by the way, burrowed here. So they're gonna continuously get more damage done. And now with these golden bases running out, or these golden minerals running out as well, Reynor is gonna be able to, I guess, use this. Well, actually, I say Reynor, but I feel like uThermal is actually the one who gets the upper hand here. A couple of Widow Mines just walking on over. Sure, classic. Widow Mines still available. Yeah, look at them. They get another shot in. Somehow, some way, both players are finding the APM to do everything. Brenda moving off creep. By the way, look at the average APM. What? 600 average APM? That's an insane amount of buttons a second. That is, well, considering there's 60 seconds in a minute, that is 10 buttons a second, huh? Gotta be clicking those buttons real fast. You know what? There's not a lot of room for spam anymore at this point in the game either. I'm sure there was some of that in the earlier stages. Now, obviously, they have high repeat rates and stuff, right? Like just holding down one button and making Zerglings gives you a lot of APM. But that's still a lot of buttons that are clicking and pressing. Okay, so this base looks like it won't fall again. Oh, Banelings. Yeah, that base indeed did go down. And uThermal, wow. And after 27 minutes of an absolutely ridiculous Zerg versus Terran, it is the Zerg player who successfully swarmed over his opponent. I was critical of the strategy initially because it really felt like he wasn't getting much done. But as time went by, right, he just simply overwhelmed his opponent constantly. And uThermal did an excellent job defending for like the first 20 minutes and dealing a lot of damage for the 20 minutes as well. But then he probably just got overwhelmed by the sheer amount of actions that his opponent was going for. Awesome game of ZVT. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notified as soon as I upload more. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. A special shout out to the Patreon supporters. Thank you very much for your generosity. Don't forget to smile alright, and I will see you once again in the next one.